Today in Pet Simulator X, I'm going to be going through the top 10 most expensive pets in the entire game. In this video, I'm going to be basing these pets almost entirely off of pet value because most of the pets on this list rarely or even never get sold. Some of the pet values on this list are absolutely insane, with even the cheapest pets on this list being worth more than most players have earned in their entire time playing Pet Simulator X. So be sure to stick around until the end to see what the most expensive pet in the entire game is. This list is a bit subjective, so some input was taken from my Discord community as well as my own opinion, meaning not everything is guaranteed to be 100% accurate, but it should be pretty close. Anyways, guys, without further ado, let's get straight into the 10 most expensive pets in the entire game. First, I have a few pets here that weren't worth quite enough to make the main list or are extremely difficult to price, but are still very expensive, so we'll treat them as some honorable mentions. The Rainbow Huge Amiibo and the Rainbow Huge Angelus are two extremely expensive pets because one comes from the daycare with an extremely low chance. I don't even know how low it is, but it is absolutely crazy because I've done the daycare probably hundreds of times, haven't got anything. But anyways, the Angelus comes from the Huge Egg with a 0.5% chance. Cosmic doesn't have any pricing on these, but for the reference, the gold versions of these are worth over 10 trillion for the gold Angelus and 19 trillion right now for the gold Amiibo. This puts the rainbow versions of each at absolutely absurd prices that would put them in the top 10 easily. But since I couldn't find any reliable pricing sources for these, they will have to remain as honorable mentions. My other 4 honorable mentions are as follows. The Huge Rainbow Chess Mimic worth 32 trillion, the Rainbow Huge Diamond Cat worth 35 trillion, and the Rainbow Huge Monkey and Axolotl both tied at 47.5 trillion value. As you guys can see, these are only the honorable mentions on this list, meaning that this list is going to be absolutely insane. These are just some of the most crazy unobtainable pets that most of us will never see in our entire time playing this game. Coming in at a respectable number 10, we have the Huge Crown Cat with a current value of around 65 trillion. This pet was given as a reward to people who have spent thousands of dollars on the game, with the cat being the most common one. There were 3 pets in total given out to top spenders, with this one being given to the top 250. You guys can probably guess that you'll be seeing the other 2 later in this list. These pets were mostly given out to YouTubers as they are the ones who tend to spend the most on the game by far, but there are quite a few of your average players who also received one of these cats. It's just, the people who spend tons and tons of money. These Huges are insanely hard to come by, as most people treat them as a status symbol showing how much they've spent. So if you manage to get your hands on one, consider yourself extremely lucky. And you'll be paying a pretty penny too, not gonna lie. Up next at number 9 is the Rainbow Huge Cat. I'm not gonna go too in depth with this one, but it was obtainable from the first plushie released by Big Games. If you got extremely lucky, you ended up with one of these. Currently, the Rainbow Huge Cat is worth around 70 trillion gems. Not too bad for a plushie purchase. Similar to number 9, at number 8, we have the glitched version of the Huge Cat. Basically, every Huge Cat was supposed to have strength 5 as the enchant, but a few of them ended up with a different enchant, resulting in a super rare glitched Huge Cat. I'm not too sure how many of these exist, but given that they are valued at around 100 trillion pet value, there's more than likely only a few in existence. Like, imagine getting a pet worth like 90 trillion more than the normal one just because it has a slightly different enchant. Like, that's actually crazy. And also, as a bit of an extra honorable mention, there's also a glitched pumpkin cat worth around 75 trillion value. And this is definitely one of the cooler glitched pets, as it's a huge pet that actually has damage numbers instead of the standard question marks most huge pets have. As you can see here, all these huges, they have this question marks here. The pumpkin cat, as you can see on screen now, actually has damage numbers, so that's honestly pretty cool. Coming in at number 7, we have one of the most pay-to-win pets on this entire list, the Rainbow Huge Balloon Cat. Preston added this pet to the game in late 2022 and allowed you to purchase it for 18,999 Robux. Costing over $200 USD, this pet was extremely controversial, with many huge names in the community speaking out against Preston for so blatantly enabling child gambling. And to make matters worse, there was only a 5% chance for a rainbow version of this pet, leading to the hefty price tag of over 100 trillion pet value for this version. Would you guys pay $200 for a pet if another one was released? Let me know in the comments. Next up, we have the next of the crown pets, the Huge Crown Corgi. Coming in at number 6, this is similar to the previous mentioned Huge Crown Cat. However, this one was only given to the top 50 spenders in the entire game. As a result, the Huge Crown Corgi demands a hefty price of over 180 trillion value if you want to own one. And that's if you could even find someone willing to sell. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention mention with the first pet is these crown pets come with a super rare exclusive enchant called Super Glittering. Super Glittering is pretty much just an upgraded version of the normal glittering enchant. However, the description says pet randomly spawns a lot of diamonds. I'm not too sure exactly how much it spawns, but it has to be pretty crazy for an exclusive enchant like this. Also guys, if you thought that the crowned cat and now the crowned corgi are difficult to find, you will be in for a huge shock when we get to the third crowned huge later on in this list. Getting into the first of the Titanic pets on this list, coming in next at number 5, we have the cheapest Titanic, the Rainbow Titanic Hubert. I'll be honest guys, like when I say cheapest, I still mean insanely expensive. Like I'm not even 1% of the way to owning one of these. They are just absurdly expensive. Like I will never be able to buy it. Oh, and also another thing before you guys comment, like, what about the other Titanics? Oh my goodness. I just want to clarify that I'm only including the most expensive versions of every pet on this list so that it's not like just the same Titanics over and over again, because that would be pretty boring. It would literally just be like 7 Titanics and then 3 of the crown pets. But anyways, the Rainbow Titanic Hubert comes in at a commanding 225 trillion value. Not gonna lie guys, we're getting into expensive territory right now. I'm pretty sure there's only a few of these guys in existence, maybe only one, I don't know. And this is only the first of the Titanic pets that I'm going to be talking about in this video. Speaking of Titanic pets, coming in at number 4, we have another one, the Rainbow Titanic Jolly Cat. This was the first Titanic pet ever released, and it is also the first and only free-to-play Titanic pet thus far. I believe there was like a 48-hour period, maybe 3 days, I can't remember exactly, but it was in one of the eggs during the Christmas event, and the odds were something like 1 in 10 billion eggs, so most people, including myself, weren't able to hatch one. The normal version of this pet is already extremely rare, so the rainbow version is just absolutely absurd. And that is why this pet comes in at a price of 350 trillion pet value. Like how do you even trade for that much? Like you gotta have like 30 huge cats. Like I don't even know. What would you do if you hatched one of these? I would definitely be bouncing off the walls. Alrighty guys, we're getting in some crazy territory here, so hold on to something because these next 3 pets are the most expensive in the entirety of the game since release. These pets are so rare that it becomes almost impossible to price them, meaning that players have come up with the term OC, meaning owner's choice. I don't think I need to explain this, but just in case, this essentially means that since there are so few of these pets, the owners get to choose any price they want. I've heard of people getting quadrillions of value worth of offers for these pets, so like I said, get ready. Starting off with the 3rd most expensive pet in the entire game and capping off the trio of crown pets, we have the huge crowned Pegasus. As with the other 2 crown pets, these were given to some of the biggest spenders in the entire game, with names like Night Fox owning one. There were only 10 of these in existence, meaning you had to spend tens of thousands of dollars. I think it's quite obvious why this pet is impossible to price. It is quite literally the biggest flex in the entire game. Well, maybe not the biggest, but definitely one of the biggest. I'm not sure if any of these have been sold before, but if so, I assume they got quadrillions in offers. Like you had to be offering like 100 Titanic pets for this thing. It's just, yeah, there will never be more of these. And you had to spend tens of thousands of dollars to get it, so you might as well get your money's worth. Anyways, guys, up next, it's time to show you guys the epitome of Titanic pets. The absolute, I think, unless there's something I'm missing out on, maybe there's like a shiny Titanic rainbow Jolly Cat or something, but coming in at number 2, this pet makes every other Titanic pet, even the rainbow ones, look like peasant trash in comparison. I almost didn't include this in the video, mostly because I didn't know about it, but I tweeted out a few days ago asking if anyone knew of some super valuable pets that not everyone might know about. My man, the GOAT, Ryan Blocks, reached out and replied with one of the craziest pets I have ever seen in my entire life. The shiny, rainbow, wait for it, Titanic balloon monkey. You heard that correctly. Like what, bro? It's shiny rainbow Titanic. That's like 1 in a billion chance from a $4 egg. That's absolutely insane. But anyways, guys, like whoever hatched this thing needs to go buy a lottery ticket because this is just absolutely crazy. Like if I had 10% of that luck, I would be like a trillionaire. It's actually crazy. Anyways, as with the other ones, this thing is again impossible to price. This dude could buy a Bugatti with this pet. What color is your Bugatti? And I'm pretty sure when he trades it one day, it'll be for like 10% of the entire pet sim economy. I just don't know how people get this lucky. I need to get this lucky. Anyways, I always complain about being unlucky and not anymore complaining because we are going into the number 1 most expensive pet. Like some of these other spots, they were up for debate. There's no question about this. This is the most expensive pet in the entire game. It is not even close. So without further ado, this brings us to the final pet on this list, the Rainbow NFT Pegasus. This pet was obtainable way back in like November of 2021, I believe, when Big Games released their NFT project. I'm not completely sure, but I think it was an auction system, and this pet ended up being sold for 4.6 Ethereum, which at the time was worth nearly $20,000 USD. You heard that correctly. Someone paid $20,000 for a pet in Pet Simulator X on a Roblox game. This is just like absolutely absurd, but you know, whatever. People can do with their money what they want to. I think it's psycho. Unlucky though, because as of January 28th, the NFT project was discontinued, given that Roblox does not allow for NFT integration with their games. So now the only way to get this pet is to trade for it. Who owns it, you might ask? Oh, only that couple that you see on the top of the leaderboard 99% of the time. Power Max and Bunny Power. You know what? Let's head over here and see if they're on there. If they're not, that's kind of embarrassing. I guess they're probably like farming or something and they don't have their, maybe they're the rat leaderboard. Rap leaderboard, not rat. All right, they're 7th, but they definitely got some stuff in the bank that's not showing up here yet. But look, 7th, Bunny Power right there. I think that's who owns it. I'm 90% sure. I went on the NFT project thing and it said they're the owners. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. They own it, I think. Yeah, it is the most expensive. Cannot debate this. This is the most expensive pet in the entire game. It's not even close. Like, this thing literally costs what some people make in an entire year. $20,000. Like, you could buy a car. You could buy 2 cars with that. You could put a down payment on a house with that. That's just absurd. I honestly don't think if people are willing to spend this much on a pet that it's going to get traded around anytime soon. You never know. Maybe someone will offer like an arm and a leg or something, like quite literally, maybe like a kidney or something, and then there you go, bro. Anyways, guys, I hope this was educational for you all. I was honestly super shocked just how expensive some of the pets in this game are while I was doing my research. It's genuinely just absurd that there's this Roblox game with like this whole economy in the game with pets that are worth literally 5 figures. It is just absolutely absurd. Anyways, guys, that's all for now, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.